Thank you, Minister. The member from Kingston Eastern Port Royal will respond.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. My colleagues have certain questions to ask, but in responding, apart from thanking the Minister for quite a lengthy presentation, and to thank him for tabling the presentation, Minister, just a few observations. Firstly, you will note that the level of enthusiasm on this side is quite different from the enthusiasm on that side. And Minister, may I suggest, because firstly you mentioned a number of tours that you did, and you name the colleagues that you went with. It would be good if you could name some colleagues on this side. Well, he didn't name everybody on that side. He named a few. Madam Speaker. Yes. Right. So Minister, I can speak very well on behalf.
Members, that's enough. Members, that's enough.
Minister, as
allow the member on his feet to speak.
As an urban member of Parliament, I believe that there are significant shortcomings in relation to urban communities. Mr. Minister, I see, for example, that you have a list of parishes where you support a chicken rearing program. I don't see Kingston in that. And you know that in Kingston, there's a member from Central Kingston here too, you know, so the Ministry of Agriculture, and in particular RADA, every year RADA has allocated special programs for chicken for urban communities, and I see that there is none being provided for Kingston. Minister, in relation also to beekeeping, that's an activity that's quite available in urban communities, that has been supported by RADA over time. Nothing here. Minister, you have a subsection here dealing with urban harvest. Where is that for urban communities? Because to date I'm not aware that anything is provided. And Minister, in relation to fisheries, last year an allocation was made to urban communities with fishing, man in particular, and I know others. To date, that allocation has not been settled, even though we just got a new amount of 500,000. So perhaps your ministry needs to look into what has happened with those funds from last year. And you mentioned...
House Leader, the member's time for speaking has expired.
Just a minute.
Suppose a 5 minutes again. What is that this
Madam Speaker, the member's time for responding having expired.
What is not agriculture?
I beg to move that it be extended by 5 minutes? 2 minutes to allow him to complete.
How's the question? Question is that the member's time be extended by 2 minutes to allow him to complete his response. Member from St. Andrew Southwest, member from St. Catherine would like to do a clarification, after which of something in the response. So I'd ask that you allow him to keep his mic on and then turn your mic on, member. Go ahead.
Yes, Madam Speaker, in closing, I wanted to inquire of the Minister, of the 150 million that you have allocated to MPs, I would like to know how these funds are allocated, ratably, same to each MP, and whether or not urban MPs are going to receive. And finally, Minister, you have spoken about Christmas, and many consumers are worried about the upcoming Christmas holidays, especially when already there's a noticeable shortage of eggs and chicken meat. Can you explain how you intend to satisfy the demand, and how are you dealing with the current price increases for other produce that are grown locally, because prices are still very high in relation to certain produce? And finally, just to say to you, Madam Speaker, as the question is asked, why I'm addressing agriculture, on this side we decide who speak on whatever subject. No. Yes.
Member from St. Catherine Southwest.
Madam Speaker, the member from East Kingston, Port Royal mentioned or stated then that the minister spoke about chicken rearing and replenishing for after burial. But I need to remind him, and the former mayor for Kingston, she knows that very well, the member from Southwest St. Andrew, that it is illegal to rear chicken in the town because of the Town and Country Planning Act. You can't raise chicken in Kingston. You can't raise Kingston based on the chicken in the strata. Town and Planning Act. Secondly, you can't. It's against the law. It's against the law. Secondly, he mentioned about you can't raise in town and the Town and Country Planning Act. He mentioned about benefits for fishing areas. He doesn't have none. You are the only one that has fishing area in Kingston. George, shut him out. Legally, she's the only one that has a fishing beach here. You don't have none. And then, let me finish. I didn't cut you.
Point of order.
You did allow me to finish.
Point of order.
I'm not going to yield. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me sit.
Insist on the point of order.
What point of order? Because I want to raise kitchen Kingston.
Member from St. Catherine Southwest.
Allow me to complete.
No.
There's a point of order. You can raise chicken in Kingston and St. Andrew.
Yeah. Member Hilton, turn your mic off, please.
Wonderful. The point of order is that the member is missing in the House in two respects. Firstly, the member is seen so many times in Port Royal eating fish and bami.
Madam Speaker, the member missing this house. I have never had fish and bam in Port Royal. I don't, a matter of fact, Not even the canteen I eat fish in here. Unless it's all over bay, I don't eat fish nowhere else.
Madam, I wish for this house to descend into this area, but while I might have been mistaken about his identity, the community of Port Royal, and in fact, a portion of Raytown extends into East Kingston. We do have significant fishing that takes place. So I want to correct that. And Madam Speaker, there are places in East Kingston, especially around the foothills of Warwick, that there is significant agriculture taking place, including goat rearing, pig rearing, and chicken. The minister is well aware because RADA has been there many times and has in fact approved resources for these facilities.
Minister, if you don't mind, Minister, if you don't mind, would you please take notes? We have 3 questions. Member from St. Andrew Southwest, the member from St. Andrew Western, and the member from St. Catherine Eastern. That will conclude the questions, Minister, after which you will respond.